beautiful lives from the outside, and 3 private battles nobody sees. One built a business from the ground up, but cannot seem to build a love that lasts. One married into money, but cries herself to sleep in a house big enough to echo. And one dances under club lights every night, not because it is glamorous, but because survival has a cost. They are best friends. They laugh together. They pray for each other. They show up when life gets heavy. But none of them know that one night, one name, and one secret from the past is about to connect all 3 of their lives in a way they never saw coming. This is their story. Simone Carter woke up before her alarm, not because she was rested, not because she was excited, but because her mind never really turned off. Before her feet even touched the floor, she was already thinking about appointments, staff schedules, inventory, client deposits, bills, and the grand opening for her second beauty lounge. To everyone else, Simone was the definition of success. She owned the Carter Room, one of the most talked about beauty and wellness lounges in Atlanta. Women came there to get their makeup done, their hair styled, their skin glowing, and their confidence restored. Simone had built a space where women walked in tired and walked out feeling powerful. But what most people did not know was that Simone had gotten very good at fixing everybody else while avoiding the broken places in herself. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand. She already knew who it was before she looked. Darius, her boyfriend. Or at least, he was her boyfriend yesterday. The message read, "We need to talk." Simone stared at the screen. A part of her wanted to respond. A part of her wanted to fight for the relationship. A part of her wanted to tell him she was trying. But the stronger part of her did what she always did when emotions felt too big. She shut down. She turned the phone over, stood in front of the mirror, adjusted her cream blazer, smoothed her hair, and whispered to herself, "Not today." Because Simone Carter did not fall apart. At least, not where anybody could see. Across town, Vanessa Whitmore sat alone at a dining table long enough to seat 20 people. The room was stunning. Fresh flowers, crystal chandelier, imported chairs, custom marble floors, everything polished, everything perfect, everything cold. Vanessa wore a silk robe, diamond earrings, and a soft face of makeup, even though it was still morning. She had learned a long time ago that being Marcus Whitmore's wife meant always looking prepared to be seen. Marcus walked into the room already dressed in a tailored suit, scrolling through his phone. Vanessa looked up. "You're leaving already?" Marcus did not stop walking. "I have meetings." "On a Saturday?" He glanced at her like the question annoyed him. "Money doesn't sleep, Vanessa." She forced a small smile. "We have the charity event tonight. You remember that, right?" Marcus finally looked at her. "I'll be there. Just make sure everything looks good. Just make sure everything looks good." That was her job. Not to feel good. Not to be loved well, not to ask questions. Just make sure everything looked good. He kissed her forehead like it was part of his schedule, then walked out the door. Vanessa sat there in silence, surrounded by everything people thought she should be grateful for. A mansion, a millionaire husband, luxury cars, designer clothes, invitations to every important event in the city. But nobody knew how lonely it felt to have everything except love. On the other side of town, Keisha Monroe, known to most people as Kiki, was trying to get 2 children dressed, fed, packed, and out the door before school started. Her daughter Jayla was 10, quiet, smart, and already too grown for her age. Her son Micah was 6, sweet, playful, and always missing one shoe. Kiki moved through the apartment with tired eyes and a loud voice. "Micah, baby, where is your other shoe?" "I don't know." "How do you not know? Shoes come in pairs. They don't break up overnight." Jayla reached under the couch and pulled out the missing shoe. "Here, Mama." Kiki kissed her daughter on the forehead. "My little grown woman, thank you." Jayla looked at her mother closely. "Did you sleep?" Kiki smiled too fast. "I slept enough." But Jayla knew better. Kiki had worked late the night before at the Velvet Room, an upscale gentleman's club where men in expensive suits threw money at women they would never respect in daylight. Kiki did not dance because she had no dreams. She danced because rent was due, because kids needed food, because school fees did not care about trauma, because survival did not wait for healing. After she dropped the kids off, Kiki sat in the car with both hands gripping the steering wheel. For the first time all morning, nobody needed anything from her. So she finally exhaled, and for one quiet second, the strong, funny, fearless Kiki disappeared. All that was left was a tired woman trying not to break. By mid-morning, Simone stepped into the Carter room like a woman walking into her kingdom. The salon was warm, elegant, and full of life. Gold mirrors, soft music, velvet chairs, women laughing, stylists moving with purpose. Her receptionist smiled. "Good morning, boss lady." Simone smiled back. "Good morning. Tell me we are not already behind." The receptionist paused. "We are not already behind." Simone narrowed her eyes. The receptionist added, "We are slightly behind." Simone gave her a look, and the staff laughed. This was where Simone made sense. Business made sense. Schedules made sense. Money made sense. Clients made sense. Love did not. A bride rushed in crying because her makeup artist had canceled 5 hours before the wedding. Simone stepped in calmly. "Look at me," she told the bride. "You are not walking down anybody's aisle looking crazy, not on my watch." And just like that, Simone took control. She moved appointments, reassigned staff, and personally did the bride's makeup. When the bride looked in the mirror, tears filled her eyes. "Oh my God, I look beautiful." Simone smiled gently. "You already were. We just reminded you." Everyone in the room admired Simone, but then her phone buzzed again. Darius. "I'm outside." Her smile faded. Simone met Darius behind the salon. He was leaning against his car, handsome and tired, in a way that had nothing to do with sleep. She folded her arms. "You could have waited until tonight." Darius looked at her. "I've been waiting for 6 months." Simone sighed. "Darius, I am working. You're always working. That's not fair." "No, Simone. What's not fair is trying to love somebody who acts like love is an interruption." His words hit her, but she refused to show it. "I never said that." "You didn't have to," he said. "You show it. Every time I try to get close, you get busy. Every time I ask for more, you act like I'm asking too much." Simone looked away. "I have a lot going on." "So do I," he said. "But I made room for you." The silence between them said everything. Then Darius said the words Simone would replay all night. "You don't need a man, Simone. You need control." Her eyes stung, but she would not cry. So instead of telling the truth, she protected herself with pride. "Then I guess you should go find somebody easier." Darius shook his head. "That's the problem. You think being loved should be hard." Then he got in his car and drove away. Simone stood there with her heart breaking behind a perfectly made-up face. A few seconds later, the back door opened. "Ms. Carter, the bride is asking for you." Simone wiped under her eyes, lifted her chin, and turned around. I'm coming. The mask was back on. That evening, Vanessa's mansion transformed into a luxury charity event. Caterers passed trays of food, florists arranged fresh roses, photographers tested lighting, guests arrived in designer gowns and tailored suits. The event was supposed to raise money for women rebuilding their lives. And Marcus Whitmore was being honored as one of the city's most generous donors. Vanessa walked through the house, giving instructions with quiet perfection. Move the champagne station inside. The patio is for photos. An assistant smiled at her. Mrs. Whitmore, your life is literally goals. Vanessa gave a soft smile. Be careful what you call goals. The assistant laughed, but Vanessa was not joking. Later, Marcus came home. He looked around, pleased. Good. This looks right. Vanessa stared at him. You mean I look right? Marcus turned slowly. Do we have to do this today? Do what? Vanessa asked. Talk? He sighed. You're emotional. Vanessa laughed, but there was pain in it. No, Marcus. I'm lonely. For a brief moment, something flickered in his face, but it disappeared quickly. You live in a house most women would pray for. Vanessa's voice dropped. And I sleep beside a man who treats me like furniture. Marcus stepped closer. Watch your mouth. The warning was quiet but clear. Then he straightened his jacket and said, when people come here tonight, you smile, you host, and you stand beside me. Don't embarrass me. Then he walked away. Vanessa stood in the hallway of her beautiful home and felt smaller than she had all day. Before going to the event, Kiki sat at her kitchen table with bills spread in front of her. Rent, car note, light bill, groceries, school fees. She opened her banking app and stared at the balance. Not enough. It was never enough. Her mother called. Kiki hesitated, then answered. Hey, Ma? You working tonight? Her mother asked. I work every night. You don't have to say it like that. Kiki rubbed her forehead. I was just asking, her mother said. Your cousin said she saw you at that club again. Kiki's face hardened. Is she paying any of these bills on my table? Keisha. No, Ma. Is she? Because if she's not, tell her don't speak on me. There was a long silence. Then her mother said softly, You always so angry. Kiki's eyes changed. Something old rose up in her chest. I wonder why. Her mother said nothing. Kiki hung up before the conversation could go somewhere she was not ready to go. Then she picked up one of Micah's drawings from the table. It was a picture of Kiki, Jayla, and Micah holding hands. At the top, in crooked letters, it said, My family. Kiki wiped one tear quickly. She did not have time to fall apart. She had children to raise. By the time Simone arrived at Vanessa's event, she looked flawless. Black dress, gold jewelry, calm face. Nobody would have guessed she had been broken up with hours earlier. Vanessa spotted her and hugged her tight. You look single and expensive, Vanessa whispered. Simone pulled back. Single was unnecessary, but accurate. They laughed, but Vanessa noticed the sadness in Simone's eyes. What happened? Simone took a glass of champagne. Darius left. Vanessa softened. Oh, Simone. Simone shrugged. Men leave. Clients stay. Vanessa gave her a look. You know that's not healthy, right? Simone looked around the mansion. Neither is marriage, apparently, but look at you. Vanessa's smile faded. Before either woman could say more, Marcus walked over. Simone Carter, he said warmly. Always good to see you. Simone's expression tightened for just a second. Marcus. Vanessa noticed it. There was something in the way they looked at each other. Something old. Something unfinished. Before she could ask, the front doors opened. Kiki walked in wearing a fitted black dress and confident she had to borrow from the deepest part of herself. A woman near the entrance looked her up and down like she did not belong. Kiki smiled. "Don't worry, sweetheart. I was invited." Then she walked straight past her. When Simone saw her, she smiled. "There she is." Kiki hugged both women. "Y'all got rich people air in here. Even the oxygen got a credit score." For the first time all night, Vanessa really laughed, and for a moment, the three friends felt like home. The women slipped away from the crowd and found a quiet side room with plates of food. Kiki kicked off one heel. "I know this floor costs more than my car, but my feet hurt." Simone laughed. "You are at a charity event, and my feet need charity," Kiki said. Vanessa laughed again, and Simone watched her closely. "I miss that laugh," Simone said. Vanessa looked down. "I still laugh." Kiki shook her head. "No, you pose." The room went quiet. Vanessa tried to smile. "I'm fine." Simone and Kiki said at the same time, "No, you're not." Vanessa's eyes watered, but she blinked it away. "Can we not do this tonight?" Kiki softened. "Okay, tonight we eat rich people chicken and judge everybody's outfits." Simone lifted her glass. "To fake smiling and surviving." Kiki lifted hers. "To bills being paid." Vanessa lifted hers last. "To not falling apart in public." They clinked glasses. It was funny, but it was also too true. Later that night, Marcus stood at the front of the room giving his speech. He looked powerful, polished, respected. "My wife Vanessa has always believed in helping women rebuild their lives," he said. "Tonight is about hope, dignity, and second chances." The room applauded. Vanessa stood beside him, smiling like the perfect wife. But while Marcus stepped away from the podium, he left his phone on a nearby table. The screen lit up. Vanessa glanced down. The message read, "I miss you. Same room tonight?" Everything around her blurred. The applause, the music, the cameras, the voices. All she could hear was her own heartbeat. She picked up the phone. Before she could unlock it, Marcus appeared beside her and took it from her hand. He leaned close, smiling for the guests. "What are you doing?" he whispered. Vanessa's smile stayed in place, but her voice shook. "Who is she?" Marcus's jaw tightened. "Not here." Vanessa stared at him. "You always say that." His hand wrapped around hers a little too firmly. "Vanessa." Across the room, Simone saw the grip. Kiki saw Vanessa's face, and just like that, the perfect picture cracked. Vanessa rushed into the bathroom. Simone and Kiki followed. The moment the door closed, Vanessa broke. "I hate him." Kiki handed her tissues. "Say it again without whispering." Vanessa looked up, tears in her eyes. "I hate him." Her voice shook harder. "I hate this house. I hate these people. I hate the pictures. I hate pretending like I'm blessed when I feel buried." Simone stepped closer. Vanessa turned toward her. "And don't tell me to leave like it's simple." Simone stopped. Kiki said gently, "Nobody said it was simple." Vanessa wiped her face. "If I leave, what do I have?" Kiki looked around the bathroom, then back at her. "Peace." Vanessa let out a bitter laugh. "Peace doesn't pay lawyers." Simone said quietly, "But money doesn't hold you at night either." Vanessa looked at both of them. "I don't know who I am without him." And that was the truth. Not the mansion, not the cars, not the diamonds. The truth was, Vanessa was scared. Kiki turned to Simone. "And you?" Simone frowned. "What did I do?" "You're not escaping tonight." Simone rolled her eyes. "Kiki." "No," Kiki said. "You always have advice for everybody else, but your relationship's got a shorter shelf life than gas station milk." Vanessa almost laughed through her tears. Simone looked offended. That was unnecessary, but accurate. Simone looked down. Darius left. Vanessa softened. Oh, Simone. Simone tried to shrug it off. I'm fine. Kiki pointed at her. That phrase should be illegal. Simone's eyes filled, but she kept her voice steady. He said I don't know how to be loved. The room went quiet. Vanessa reached for Simone's hand. This time, Simone did not pull away. I built a whole business teaching women they're worthy, Simone said, and I don't even know how to believe it for myself. That was the first honest thing Simone had said all day. Then Vanessa looked at Kiki. What about you? Kiki's guard went up immediately. What about me? Simone watched her carefully. You've been quiet. Kiki forced a laugh. I just watched a rich marriage and a breakup happen in the same bathroom. I'm entertained. But neither friend laughed. Vanessa said softly, Kiki's voice got sharper. I'm tired. That's it. And just like that, the wall went back up. But for a second, Kiki looked in the mirror and saw something else. Not the woman in the black dress, not the dancer, not the mother. A little girl, a hallway, a closed door, a memory she had spent years trying to bury. Kiki blinked hard and came back to herself. I need air. Then she walked out. Outside, the night air was cool. Kiki stood near the driveway, breathing deeply, trying to calm herself. That was when she heard Marcus on the phone. No, she doesn't know anything, he said. Just keep Raymond away from the press until the deal closes. Kiki froze. Raymond. That name landed in her chest like a stone. Marcus turned and saw her. You lost? He asked. Kiki quickly covered her reaction. No, just needed air. Marcus looked her over. You're Vanessa's friend, right? One of them. He smiled, but it did not feel kind. Vanessa has always had interesting taste in friends. Kiki smiled back. And you have interesting taste in text messages. His smile disappeared. For one tense moment, neither of them moved. Then Simone opened the door. Kiki. Kiki walked back inside, but the name Raymond was still ringing in her mind. By the end of the night, Vanessa could not stand in that house one more second. She looked at Simone and Kiki and said, I want to go somewhere. Simone asked, where? Vanessa looked around the mansion. Anywhere that doesn't belong to him. So the three women left. Not to a fancy lounge. Not to another event. Not somewhere they had to pretend. They went to a small 24-hour diner with sticky tables, weak coffee, pancakes, fries, and fluorescent lights. And for the first time all night, they looked real. Simone had taken off her earrings. Vanessa had removed her wedding ring and placed it on the table. Kiki was eating like she had not had a real meal all day. Vanessa stared at the ring. I saw the text. Simone asked, do you know who it was? Vanessa shook her head. No, but I'm going to find out. Kiki's expression changed. Be careful with men like Marcus. Vanessa looked at her. What does that mean? Kiki hesitated. It means men with money don't just cheat. They cover things. Simone studied her face. You know something. Before Kiki could answer, her phone buzzed. It was Blue, her manager from the club. She ignored the call. Then a text came through. VIP asked about you again. Big money. Don't play with this opportunity. Kiki's stomach tightened. Another text appeared. His name is Raymond Bell. Kiki stopped breathing. Her hands started shaking. Simone noticed. Kiki? Vanessa leaned forward. What is it? Kiki stared at the phone like the past had just walked into the room. Then she whispered, "I know him." Simone's voice lowered. "Know who?" Kiki looked up, her eyes filled with fear, pain, and rage. "The man who ruined my childhood." And just like that, one name changed everything. Raymond Bell, a respected man, a powerful man, a man connected to Marcus, a man Kiki thought she had escaped. Vanessa's perfect marriage was cracking, Simone's perfect control was slipping, and Kiki's buried pain was rising back to the surface. 3 women walked into that night pretending they were fine, but by morning, nothing about their lives would feel safe anymore. Because sometimes the truth does not knock gently. Sometimes it comes back, wearing a suit, carrying power, and hiding behind money. And for Simone, Vanessa, and Kiki, the pretty lives were about to fall apart.